Shalom, shalom. Kal halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone of the well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word with truth and in sincerity. Today is, let's see, I believe it's the 26th of June. Now, at the 26th of June 2019, there's an impending urgency, because there are multiple prophecies coming to pass, and three of the main prophecies are coming to pass. So the RFID chip, the chariots are being seen more and more, and the Valley of Jehoshaphat is almost here. So really the time is at hand, for everyone to do what they can to be in the good graces of the Lord, and the time is at hand for these prophecies to come to pass, and so we can be delivered, no matter how far away it might be at the moment. The scriptures say our salvation is nearer than when we believe. As a matter of fact, let me grab that. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep." Knowing the time of what? Knowing the time that we are in, knowing the time of the prophecies, what's going on in front of you. Scriptures say measure the time diligently in itself, and how you measure the time, or the events by the prophecies. And you measure that by watching the news and being a watchman, man. Watching news, reading articles, and watching what's going on in the world in your everyday life. It says, "For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed." So our salvation is right around the corner. There's a big fuss over the chariots now. They're starting to see the chariots more and more. The Valley of Jehoshaphat, World War III is inching ever so closely, with the tension between Iran and the U.S., Iran and Russia, Iran and Venezuela, Iran and the Ukraine, United States and Germany, So really, at the moment right now, it's the United States versus the whole world, And the nations are showing their anger. They're starting to show their backbone against the United States. It says the night is far spent. The scriptures say prophesy in the night. We're in the night right now, meaning we're in a period of darkness. A period of great darkness. It says the day is at hand. So we're at the point where now we're beginning to see twilight. We're beginning to see all the time we spent in the darkness, and now it's starting to become morning, which you're starting to see the sun come up, So the day is at hand, the day when we can be delivered, the day when Yahushai shows himself and he puts all things under his subjection. It says, "Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light." And the works of darkness are of this world, and the armor of light is the spirit, and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, And knowing that, you start to understand that the more that we read and discern, the faster and faster that we understand that this world is coming to an end and Yahushai is on his way to redeem us. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy." And let me go into the word readeth.
Strong's G 314. Anagnosko.
Anagnosko, which means to distinguish between, to recognize, to know accurately, to acknowledge, to read. When you read somebody, when you're reading body language, you're able to distinguish between what this person is saying and what this person is actually meaning. Close example I can get to. So, blessed is he that readeth, meaning blessed is he that can distinguish between good and evil, that can distinguish between the times, the prophecies, to can recognize when the Lord is showing signs of his coming. This is back in Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. It says, and they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, you know, and one of the things that's written therein is to feed the flock, is to go out in the highways and byways and prophesy, you know, which is to love thy neighbor as thyself, and worship the Lord our power, for these are our two greatest commandments. For the time is at hand, the time for our deliverance, the time for our deliverance. And how do you know that? By measuring the time diligently, by paying attention to what's going on in the world, you know. There's been earthquakes back to back for an entire week, you know. Japan had an earthquake. Now they're having a tsunami. New Zealand had an earthquake. Mexico just had an earthquake, you know. Have been going back to back for a whole week, you know. Things are heating up. Not to mention the whole Pentagon reveal and the whole government reveal of the so-called UFOs, which we know are the chariots of the Most High, and they've been revealing these spacecrafts for a while now. But now, since we have the internet, it's going worldwide. You know, the Pentagon has recently released reports of unidentified flying objects, and that they acknowledge these things, which we know to be the angels of the Most High. You know, this is 2 Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the times past, which I have told thee before." So when you measure the time, you have to take look at the word time. A time is a sequence of events. And a sequence of events is what? Prophecy. Sequence of events from a starting point to an end point. That's what time is. Prophecy is time. So measure the time or prophecy diligently in itself. Meaning you have to constantly watch and constantly discern, constantly read. And when thou seest part of the signs past, meaning when you see these prophecies come to pass, which I have told thee before, meaning which are written in the book, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Now you start to understand through watching world events and watching these prophecies unfold that are written in the scriptures. Start to see that, damn, the Lord is here. The Lord is making his return. Therefore, when thou shalt see, it's like it. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars in the people of the world. Now, I just mentioned earthquakes. You just had one in New Zealand, one in Japan with a tsunami, and one in Mexico. All in a week span, 2 days apart, and uproars of people in the world. You still have uproars in Greece. You have uproars in America over this whole racial inequality and LGBT. You have uprisings in Venezuela, uprisings in Mexico, uprisings in Iran, Syria. You still have uprisings in Libya, which everyone seems to have forgotten about. Uprisings in Cyprus over their economy, which that's still going on. Uprisings in Britain over the Brexit. You have uprisings all over the world. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Matter of fact, let me get Luke, the first chapter, because these things have been spoken of since the beginning of time. Uproars, earthquakes, the RFID chip, the race riots, martial law, pestilence. The woes and the plagues of the world have been spoken of since the beginning. I'm going to prove that. And you can read Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10, which tells you that the end is declared from the beginning. But our salvation and the end of the world was prophesied in the beginning. This is Luke chapter 1 verse 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Oh, matter of fact, let me go back up. This is Luke chapter 1 verse 68. It says, Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. So he's going to redeem us, man. And hath raised up an horn of salvation, meaning power of salvation, for us in the house of his servant David. Going back to Amos 9 and 11, which says the tabernacle of David shall be raised up, man. You know, as in the days of old. It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets. So the prophets have been speaking of our salvation, you know, which have been since the world began. So the prophets have been speaking of what's going on now since the beginning of the world. That we should be saved from our enemies, which are the so-called white man and the 16, Edom and the 16 other nations, and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, which the mercy promised to our fathers is salvation, you know, and this holy covenant, meaning the kingdom of heaven, you know. It was prophesied since the beginning of the world back in Genesis that we will receive all of these blessings, man. And we are seeing everything in this world culminate to one exact thing, and that's the deliverance of Israel, man. And this is something that our people, as well as people in the rest of the world, they think that this isn't going to happen in our lifetime, or it's never going to happen. I hear people say all the time, oh yeah, they've been saying we're in the seventh trump in the book of Revelation since I was a kid, or they've been saying there's going to be a nuclear war since my father was a kid. That's never going to happen, or that's not going to happen in our lifetime. Well, guess what? It is happening in our lifetime, and it is here. It is here, right around the corner. Trump didn't didn't Trump did not declare a United States Space Force or the fifth branch of the military for no reason, man. They understand that the UFOs or the chariots are here to help in their destruction, man. They understand that. It's you sheeple that don't understand. This is Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 21. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth? So, especially Jake, Israel thinks that, oh, the Lord ain't coming, or destruction of the world ain't coming for another 50 years, for another 200 years, for another 1,000 years, And every vision faileth. They think that the prophecies in the scriptures are not coming to pass. But I can assure you, and I can prove to you today, that the prophecies are definitely coming to pass, and aren't waiting for nobody to be ready. The Yahushua said he comes like as a thief in the night. He comes quickly. He's not going to wait for you to be ready. It says, tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, I will make this proverb to cease, meaning to disappear. And disappear how? By showing that he's on his way. By showing that these things will happen. It says, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. So yes, I'm coming, and the world is ending, and everything is going to come to pass, and you will see it, just like we're seeing the RFID chip, Nate. It's June, Nate, and we're seeing the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. We're seeing military aggravation in the South China Sea, in the Kuwait, in the Strait of Kuwait, in Iran, in China, in Russia. We're seeing all of these things. It says, for there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. There's not going to be any more, oh, that's not going to happen. Oh, everybody's going to flourish in this world and this society and get brand new cars and brand new houses and raise your children up to be beautiful people. Ain't going to be no raising no children, man. Lord willing, things are happening at such a fast pace. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump declares martial law at the same time he pushes off those ice raids, man, on Issachar. Things are happening so fast, you don't know what's going to happen. But I can tell you this: this place should not last another 10, 20 years, man. I can't see it. This place is done for. Finito. It says, for there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am the Lord, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. And the Lord has not breaking his word yet, man. Everything that the Lord is saying is coming to pass. It's happening right in front of your eyes. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, saith the Lord power, Yahweh. So he says in our days this is going to happen. So everybody that says this isn't going to happen in our lifetime, you're dead wrong, man. The Lord said this is going to happen in your day. Verse 26 says, again, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And he prophesied of the times that are far off. Did I not just say that? You know? They think that we're telling them of something, some fairy tale is going to happen 1,000 years from now. It's going to happen a couple hundred years from now, man. No, you will see this happen in your lifetime. You will see the end of the world as you know it. It says, therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord Yahweh. So everything that the Lord has said will come to pass. It will be done, you know. And I have complete and utter faith that this place is going to be destroyed with a mighty destruction. The Lord said this place is going to fall in 1 hour. One. It took 260 years to build this godforsaken place, and it's going to be destroyed in a second. In a second, man. This place is done for. As Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai has said, this place is going to be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. And there's no way that it's going to be prolonged. There's no way Iran and Russia is going to stand for the insolence of the United States of America. You know? There's no way Yahweh Shai is going to stand for the insolence and ignorance of Esau. You know, the destroyer, man. And when the Lord comes back, everybody is going to see it. You know? It's going to be televised. It's going to be YouTube streamed. You know? Everybody's going to be able to see this. And when they do, their hearts are going to fail them like women, man. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. And those clouds are the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the so-called UFOs, man. You know? Matter of fact, before I get there, look at Zechariah 5 and 1. It says, then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. That flying roll represents a chariot. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. So Zechariah was able to describe to the angel the size of this chariot. Well, the size of his chariot was huge. So then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. You know? So the chariots of the Most High are the curse that covers the earth, man. And Esau knows this. Like I said, why do you think Trump is declaring a United States Space Force? Because they're trying to fight the chariots of the Most High, man. You think Esau's going to take his flying down? No, he wants to fight for his kingdom. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on the side according to it. So Esau's going to be done for, man. He's going to be cut off because he stole the nation of Israel and refuses to give us back. And every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. It shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And the thief is Esau, man. He stealeth, he killeth, you know, and he destroys, man. You know, like Eddie Guerrero on WWE, man. You know, his theme song was I lie, I kill, I steal. You know? And that's Esau all day. He lies, he kills, and he steals, man. So this curse is going to enter into his house, which is America, man. And everywhere that he dwells. It says, and it shall remain in the midst of this house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. You know? So the chariots are going to destroy Esau's dwelling place. America and the rest of this world is completely finished, you know. And as these chariots are destroying the habitation of Esau, and at the same time delivering the nation of Israel, you have World War III, the culmination of World War III that's going to happen, man. You know? This is Joel chapter 3, verse 11. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause I mighty ones to come down, O Lord. It says, let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. That valley of Jehoshaphat is going to take place in what you know as modern day Iran, which was Babylon. That's where the valley of Jehoshaphat is going to be. So when this whole thing with Iran and the United States of America in this military tension, this is very dangerous for the rest of the world, and this is very very joyous for the nation of Israel, man. Because when the United States goes into Iran, that's when the World War III is going to kick off. Because now Russia's going to get involved, Syria's involved, China's involved, and now all of the United States allies are involved. All of Russia's allies are involved. That's a world war, man. When there's more than 3 nations involved, that is a world war. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. And the nation's wickedness is exceedingly great. For the simple reason that they continue to oppress the nation of Israel, and that they don't have no idea and have no inkling of righteousness of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So the Lord is on his way back in that valley, decision. Meaning, he's going to decide judgment on the whole world, man. Because the whole world is going to be in this war. And they will be judged accordingly, And Yahweh Shai is going to be the one to issue out that judgment, man. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. So he cometh with the chariots of the Lord, man, with the angels, the so-called UFOs, the unidentified flying objects, unidentified flying objects, and every eye shall see him. How's every eye going to see him? Of course, when we look at the movie Independence Day, you're going to see that big, huge chariot, that just popped out of the fire and the amber and the fire enfolding itself, But then what else did you see? You seen it on international news, man. You seen videos of the chariot popping out on TVs, on cell phones, That's exactly what's going to happen. That's how every eye is going to see him, And they also was pierced him. So that's also proves reincarnation. The ones that pierced Yahweh Shai when he was on that cross and pierced him in his side, and water came out, they're going to be here too. And they're going to see Yahweh Shai in all his glory, man. They're going to be the first ones to go. It says, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So everyone's going to cry and sigh and be terrified, man, when they see Yahweh Shai come in those clouds in all of his heavenly glory, man. And they're going to know that they're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the power of this universe, man. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Double honors the apostles and elders great millstone were well, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Let's get the hell out of here, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. It's time to get the fuck out of here, man. Shalom.